Hey, what's going on, people? Got my door cracked open a little bit because it's really hot down here. So, understand in Florida, whenever it's wintertime for everybody else, but down here, springtime initiates in January, and springtime is summertime for us. So, in a couple weeks, it's gonna be summertime, and then when the summertime comes, it's summertimes to the eighth power because we get in the hundreds down here. In my first year in Florida, well, um, my anniversary of being here for 1 year. So, like I said, I want to just be ready for everything. Cause my car battery, I don't want to drink anything, but it got so hot, my battery broke cause the heat. So I want to make sure I buy another battery just in case something happens to the one I have right now. Like nothing happened, everything is good. I had it since December, but I mean, I'm on my break. Appreciate anybody watching and listening. I don't know why I'm able to close my door the minute it's like the minute it gets a little, I'm in the car for a little bit, I don't have to have my door open. It's like a little cool now because I don't like just having my car just run and have the air on. I don't like doing that. My air actually works, but I don't use it, and that's why I believe my car runs the way it does and runs fine. I don't have any problems because I don't, there's certain things on here I don't use. But anyway, so I told you about the culture of Philly and just everything. I didn't want it to be so depressing. So, you know, Atlanta, as much as I don't care for the city very much, at least the part that I was in, they are they're big contributors of 2000s rap music, like Little John, Young Jock, the Franchise Boys, D4L, um, DJ Unk. I believe he's from Atlanta. I'm listening to a lot of these rappers. These songs like are hits of '06. Walk It Out, Ballin', Jim Jones. This Is Why I'm Hot, Mims. Um, it was another song. It was so many, man. Young Jock, It's Going Down, and you had Coffee Shop. That was the song of like the spring and the summertime. Cause understand, we were doing dances from people did down south in Atlanta. We were doing them up north. But like I said, the Wu-Tang was still like the dance, lean with it, rock with it, Young Jocks dance, and that was basically music, cause rock music wasn't really popular in the inner city like that. It really wasn't popular at the time. So I'm listening to rap, 2006, 2007, '07 comes around. Like I said, music, it's changing a little bit. I see the whole gangster image is dying off because 2007 comes along. I'm trying to think some of the songs of '07. This is actually, I'll just spoil this for you. This is my last year of hip hop, rap. So Bow Wow his career is sort of just in the toilet. Young Jock, he had a song, "Buy You a Drink" with T-Pain. That was a hit for 2007. Oh yeah, and Atlanta as well. The Shop Boys, "Party Like a Rock Star." That was his song of '07, and Rockstar Mentality. Um, the Franchise Boys were done. They weren't heard of anymore, and I was just always wondering what happened to the Franchise Boys, because nobody was doing the Lean with a Rock with it no more. D4L was down the toilet. Um, I don't remember Jay-Z releasing anything that year other than that American Gangster movie soundtrack. And 50 Cent, like I said, this is his last year for releasing anything, because Kanye West killed 50 Cent's career, sort of. Yeah, so music is sort of changing. Oh yeah, so I want to point this out too. What I feel when I feel like I stopped listening to rap, I stopped loving it because it lost the gangster image. Because I wasn't dressing. When you had the gangster image, people had baggy jeans, like big t-shirts, snap. They had like the big baseball hats on. People wear jewelry. People would wear watches. You know, during dress down day, I would try to look like my brother, dress like him. He had a little chain. I couldn't find it. I wanted to wear that to school. It was a big, like, little sign of the cross chain. I don't know if it was real, but I wanted to wear that to school. You know, I remember I had these this big shirt my brother, because I wore a lot of my brother's clothes. He had this big shirt that had like shoestrings on it. It was Tim's, but it had like shoestrings on it. I wanted to dress like him so bad because he had better clothes than me. But anyway, that summer that Soulja Boy came out, that's when rap began to just it just went in a different direction. Now, it's not that I wasn't doing the dance, or not that I didn't like the song, but I noticed that it wasn't no gangster image to rap, and they weren't really trying to make good songs when Soulja Boy came out. Because after Crank That, you know, you had Soulja Girl, that was okay, but his music, it didn't seem like he was trying really hard to make good songs, good lyrics. So around this time, this is when I started to transition over to rock music. Around the late 07 going into 2008, I'm listening more to rock because I started playing guitar around this time. And I'm going to talk about that a little later on too. But I started taking guitar lessons by my mom. She told me about this program. It was it was near University City. That's a section of Philly. I'll say around like 42nd and Chestnut. I don't know where street is actually on. I don't even know if it's still open. But I went to this place on Saturdays. And this is where now that you hear that train coming, now the sun is sort of it's not as beaming no more. So I went to this place on Saturdays because this was like my extra activities to do during the weekend. And this is what I was doing. I did guitar, I did drama, and I did piano there. I took 3 classes, and I wanted to learn how to play. At the time, I didn't own a guitar, but I took classes there, and like I said, I wanted to just learn music, but I really wasn't learning, honestly. It was something that I wanted to just do, but I didn't have really no interest in learning, to be completely honest, because it just looked cool. It was this game at the time. Guitar Hero was out. I didn't have Guitar Hero, but when we would go to the mall, wherever we would go, because understand, our family, a lot of black families do this. Our family would always travel further out. So Springfield Mall, that mall had, I believe, a shooting in 1985. We would go to this mall in spite of that because it was in a better area. I don't really know about now, but the closest mall for our family would be 69th Street or the Gallery. I'm going to just give y'all, because I don't know the demographics of my channel, but I'm going to just tell you this right now. All of our neighbors were black. Everybody in our neighborhood was mostly black. So our neighbors, I told you, the picture I posted on my community wall where it had that mugshot of that guy, he was my neighbor. He dated the girl that lived in my house. They dated for like a day. He was one time making fun of me with this other neighborhood kid when I was walking around to play basketball. They had like a little court near like our deck area behind our house. I didn't see him very much because he went to juvenile hall. I don't know what he did, but he was sent away for 4 years. Anyway, their family would terrorize our family, as in they hit my dad's car one time. They put this entertainment system, like the stand. I say entertainment system because that's what my dad would call it. It was a stand for the TV where you would put the big screen TV on. They put that behind our house, like the door to get out in the basement. They put that behind, like near the basement, to lock us in. and then they threatened, and the girlfriend threatened to call the police. My dad, my dad never really talked to them, but she was always trying to make friends and make peace with them. And let me tell you why. Because black folks, for the most part, not all, but they understand when you go back and forth with other black people, it never stops. It persists until somebody dies. I'm gonna say it again. I know I sound like a robot, but people keep doing the same shit. So I'm gonna keep saying the same shit. Just like how the Boondocks said, nigga moments die when people go to jail or somebody's dead. That's how you kill a nigga moment. My dad understood that. See, he understood it's not going to end very well going back and forth with them, because they were actually from the projects. I don't know if they were or not, but they would always say, this is Southwest Philly. It's not the projects. It seemed like that's how they were living before they came here. But he understood that he's not going to win in that situation. They got two sons. He's almost 50 years old. Well, it was really the one son, the daughter, and then she had like another kid. But he understood he would not win in that situation with that family, because he didn't know if they had people who could have did something to him or our family. He understood when you're dealing with black people, you can't throw that race card. That doesn't work. You can't cry to see. Back in the day, what we have today with like social justice warriors, that really wasn't a thing back in the day. But you can't cry racism when it comes to your own people, because there's nobody to blame. So he made whatever attempts he could to not really go to war with them. It's funny how though he can understand the effects of going back and forth with them, but he knew, but he would say today that I didn't know the effects of the things that happened to you. I didn't know they could hurt you. Like, you damn sure knew all the effects of the things you did to me. You knew them as an adult. Just how when I was mentoring those kids, I made it my business not to yell at them, I'm not their father for one, but I made it my business not to yell at them, not to boss them around. I didn't direct them orders or anything. I never raised my voice, because I understand the effect of doing that to kids that aren't my kids, to be, for one. But he understood the effects of everything he did. Just if he knew the effects of going back and forth with those neighbors, he knew the effects of having that woman around in my presence, berating me in front of her, the visit sometimes, because I don't want to call it really abuse, but putting his hands on me and scaring me when I had work, when I had homework, chasing me like when I locked myself in the bathroom, all those things. He knows the effects of and how they affect me today. He understood it 100%. So for him, like I said, he doesn't have a son anymore. I'm not his son, but he has to deal with all of the effects, just like him and people. And I'm going to clarify what I was saying in my last video. Him and people that are in his age group who are so frightened by today's kids, because 2007, 2006, Philadelphia's murder rate were in the 400s. That was the product, because we had the term Philadelphia. That is the product of drug dealers and petty disputes. But today, kids are having access to guns. Kids are wild today. It's more kids killing other kids than back in the day. It wasn't really kids killing kids. It was it's more of drug dealers back in the day. I can just tell you that, and look at the statistics. But him and people around his age who in the 80s and in the 90s, they weren't in their kids' life. They were in jail. A lot of them were, experimenting with drugs, selling drugs, going to prison. And when they had kids, like he had a child he didn't know about for 12 years because he just screwed around. He fucked around with a woman. He asked, was the child his? And she said no. But it's the fact that you had a child, you weren't using protection. And it also goes into the black church. It had no real effect on him if he has all these kids out of wedlock. I get he was married twice, but the church had no effect on him to honor marriage, to not cheat on your wife, to not have multiple kids by different women. The church had no real effect on him. But his generation dropped the ball, because look at how I turned out. There's a lot of kids. See, the difference with me, when my message is, I'm not promoting people to do drugs. I'm not promoting you to commit acts of violence, lead a life of crime, you know, get into drugs and alcohol. I'm not promoting that. I want people, whoever have something happen similar to me, to overcome those things. I ain't saying run from your problems, but overcome them as best as possible. That means not talking to people, do that. But you want to be something in life where it doesn't bother you later on. A perfect example of what that is Oprah. Oprah, sorry, it's a little hot. Oprah went through abuse from her mom, her father. She had a child at 14. She was raped, molested. And look at her today. Look, she's a billionaire. And what I mean is, she may not admit it, and it's okay, because this is what I respect about her. Oprah never killed nobody. Well, I'm not gonna say that. She's probably killed some people, but I mean, before she was Oprah, she didn't just walk down the street and start shooting people because of her childhood. You know, she did drugs. She was on crack at one point, but she did not, she's a good example. Let me tell you why. She did not, you didn't see Oprah in a crack house for 10 years, just strung out on crack. She still had a career. She was making money. She was doing positive things. But I believe that Oprah hates black men. And I can understand why. Because she was raped and molested by one, mistreated by them. I get it. But she did not put all, and this is one thing people can learn from Oprah that are on YouTube making videos. Like, let me just say this. I make videos about black women, but the thing is, I don't want that to absorb my life. I just tell you some of the warnings that I'm aware of, and people understand, and some black women understand too. But I don't dedicate my life to that, because there are black women on here who dedicate their life to obsessing over people who make videos on black women, like Kevin Samuels. You got to move on from that. But to get back on topic, she does not dedicate her life talking about black men. But one thing she does do, like I said, she has a reaction from people, as in, because I know I lost you a little bit, but Oprah, I don't really think she cares for black men very much, and that's fine. I understand, like I can get it, like all the stuff she's been through, but she does not dedicate her life to black men, as in, she's not online talking about them. If anything, with all her money and influence, she shows black men in the worst light ever. With that, she had a show where I think maybe she started the show. It was a show called Prancing Elites, where all the men were very like feminized on that show. They were like male cheerleaders. But Oprah does not, like I said, her best revenge is all of her success, because she dated mostly white guys. I don't think she's married to that, whoever that guy is who she's been with since the 80s. I don't think that they're like partners. But my point I'm making is, she used her pain and made success out of her pain. And that's the best way I could really say to use a lot of your pain. I'm not saying hate people, but I'm inspired a little bit by all of her adversity, like all the stuff that she went through. She used all of that, and she made a career out of it. She had a very successful show. And Oprah, like I said, she may not really care for black men, but she has it in a way where she's so successful. Black men actually care that she doesn't like black men. And I'm saying they care when I see people saying, oh, she never lets rappers on her show. Only rapper she lets on her show is Jay-Z. I mean, it really shouldn't care. If you don't care for Oprah, you shouldn't care that she doesn't, let rappers on her show. But that's the point I'm making. She's so successful. She has people hating her by her success, but in a good way. Don't have people hate you where all you do is just talk hatred about people, or you start committing acts of violence against people. That's the wrong way to go. Success is the best way to get revenge. All the stuff that my dad did to me, I want to be better. as in I want to do whatever I can to lead a successful life. If I ever have kids one day, if I'm fortunate to have kids, I'm not going to raise them like he raised me, and that's going to be my success. And when my kids grow up, I'm going to show them how I was raised, and it's going to look bad on him if he's alive to see it. But that's going to be my success. But and Tyler Perry is another good example too. I don't think he particularly likes black women because of all the negative roles that he has them play in movies. He was molested by one, he was raped by one, but he did not go out, he didn't shoot people, he didn't kill people. He wasn't strung out on drugs for 10 years in a crack house. He used his pain and he turned it into success. And any kind of feelings that he had towards black women, he put all that into his movies. He didn't go make videos and just dedicate his whole life on YouTube or social media just bashing black women. No, he did it in another way where he made money out of it. He got rich off of it. I know those are two bad people, but my point I'm making is this. All of my opinions I have on just everybody, I just think it's better to turn your pain and whatever you feel into success, like Oprah did. I don't really agree with her movies and a lot of the stuff she's done with that school in Africa where they were raping girls. But at the end of the day, she has a couple people upset over how she does shit. But she has her shit from all her pain that she turned into success. And I can respect that.